Yeah.
Welcome back to Off the Ball Network's betting account as we talk about EPL Matchday 5. We're going to recap what happened for the midweek plays of EPL before heading into the weekend slate. A lot of big games coming up this weekend. I love the fact that we have so much EPL going on right now. It's fantastic, and I'm joined by Walker Bailey once again. Walker, how you doing today?
Yeah, it's like every time I try to get away from it and take my eyes off of it, I just can't. It's like, oh God, that match has some promise to it, and I jump in and watch, and for us, like, I don't know that I bet every match this weekend, but I bet most of them for sure. I think I bet all 5 on Tuesday, and I know I bet the one today, and for sure one yesterday. So I bet most of them. Yeah, so it's been great. I've enjoyed every minute of it. I'm looking forward to it again this Saturday. Lots of sports on Saturday, and then Sunday morning we've got a couple more big fixtures. So
yeah, the only game that I actually faded, I think, on Saturday would have been, or on Saturday. God, we're midweek.
yeah,
On Tuesday would have been the Leeds game. But otherwise, like, it was another profitable week of EPL. I was 3-2. Well, it wasn't just all EPL. I had a championship play and a Serie A play in there, but it was 3-2 on the Tuesday, 3-2 yesterday. Those were all the EPL plays, and then today, I did have Man U first goal, and it turned out it was the only goal. So it was a profitable week, footy wise. That's what we're all about here, is making profits, and so I am excited. Obviously, given the United result today, like, that's obviously my clear winner, is because through 2 matches, and if you tuned into that third week, like, I was like battered and beaten, and I was like, oh my God, how many goals is Liverpool going to score on us on the weekend? And then they got the Liverpool result, and I was like, okay, well, they're going to let me down now. And then they go and pick up another 3. And then today, not the best 3-point performance, but nonetheless, they looked solid. You got Casemiro out there. Ronaldo just missed adding a second late in the game. And so I think now the fact that they're sitting on 9 points, like, it felt like absolute disaster mode through 2 weeks. And now we're sitting here heading into the 6th week. And it's like, wow, that, like, they've completely turned this thing around. And it's been, I go back to benching Maguire. Like, that defense is playing in unison. Like, there was a play earlier in the game today where the defender slid in, went off Leicester player and out of bounds, and everyone's just pumped and they're fired up. And it's like, that was missing with Maguire, and it felt like the team was just very stagnant. And so my opinion of United has changed a lot. I'm not going to go as far as to say top 4, but to me, they're the 5th best side in England right now, the way that they're playing, for sure. And we'll have to wait and see how these Chelsea moves that they made are going to affect things. Who would have been your winner for week 5?
Yeah, it pains me to say it, but Arsenal. 5 wins in 5 matches, 15 points, top of the table. I just was really impressed with the way that they answered the Villa equalizer. That's a match that Arsenal last year wouldn't have won. It was a match that they could have even theoretically lost last year. They were just, it was a team that didn't have the mental fortitude to finish matches like that. And not only did they answer, but they answered with them, like, immediately. Like, I think that it was, the score was equal for like 3 minutes, and before Odegaard answered. So, I think that they're a clear winner. And I told you this today. Like, I'm almost jealous. Like, the vibes, like, their vibes FC right now. Like, they just, everything is so positive. The way that they're playing is positive. They're a fun watch. They're entertaining. Gabriel Jesus has brought an entirely new element to that club. All of the vibes around Arsenal are just immaculate, honestly, for lack of a better word. And that kind of pains me to say, but we haven't really just, I think we've all just kind of been waiting, like, on the slip up to where we could be like, all right, maybe not same old Arsenal, but similar old Arsenal. And, like, it hasn't come yet. And I know that, big match at Old Trafford next week, which will make that match really, really interesting. Or I say next week, it's this weekend on Sunday, but yeah, for me, it's Arsenal.
That, and as someone that had the Villa double chance, it felt like I didn't even have time to celebrate the equalizer because they had already fallen behind again.
Right.
So
Oh, and
it
I had
was
Villa
so
plus
quick.
a half. Like I had
I
Villa
think
plus.
I actually went to message you and say, "Oh yeah, like Villa answered," and then I saw, "Oh, that was a quick response. Never mind, delete." So
Oh, I didn't, as quick as it was, I legitimately never even knew that Villa answered. Like, I didn't. Like, I looked and saw 2-1, and I was like, "Oh, like, Villa must have just scored one after they went down 2." Like, I never even knew they answered until I went in and actually kinda, like, dug into the game afterwards. But, like, yeah, no, I didn't even know that they equalized in the actual run of the day. I basically kind of I do that thing where I predetermine results of my bets with, like, 30 minutes left in the match, and I'm just kinda like, "Alright, like, here's where it's probably going." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm either going 3 and" I guess that one was on Wednesday. I was like, yeah, I'm either going like 3-2 or 4-1, depending on like a couple of different things. And um, I know Tuesday I was like sitting there. I was like, I'm going 3-2 or 4-1, and it all comes down to whether or not Everton can just like not give up another goal. Which, look what happened. Everton scored another goal that got wiped out. So, but they didn't give up one. So I went 4-1 Tuesday, and then I know I was up units on Wednesday. I just don't remember what the record was. It was like I was up like 0.65 units. I just don't remember what the record was.
yeah, like I was up, I think one total unit heading into today. That included though the Italian soccer play. Although I will say I did get the Serie A play. I didn't get the championship play, so I was 1-1 there. So if anything, I probably hurt myself more than helped my record. And then getting the Man United first goal today was big. Now, I know that we're kind of going to rehash things, but the two losers are the exact same teams I think that we talked about earlier in the week. Because how do you not have Chelsea losing? I know it's on the road, but it's Southampton. This is a team that future bet wise, you have them being bottom at Christmas time. Like that's how bad we thought this side was going to be. And Chelsea couldn't pick up results. And then I have to say Leicester because I'm going through there was a lot of draws, first of all, midweek, but what are we going to do? Give a loser play to Brighton on the road, which we both bet Fulham, so we didn't expect them to get a result there. Are we going to go and pick Newcastle, who had Liverpool? We're going to say Nottingham because they got blown out by City because City's
Yeah.
been blowing everybody out. Like, I just don't think that there's any other losers outside of these two teams. And, Chelsea, they're still going to be okay, but Leicester is bottom of the league. Like, keep in
Yeah.
mind, this is a team that won the league in the last decade, and they are bottom of the league through 5 match days.
Oh,
So,
they're going down. It's done.
like,
They're going down.
I saw the look in Jamie Vardy's face today where, like, first of all, he looks frail. Like, and I know
Yeah.
that part of it is like he's 35. He's like really trying to just scrape together results, but he's got 0 goals to start the year. And you could tell that he took a stupid yellow card, and it's like the frustration is already setting in. And it's like, man, this Leicester side needs to turn it around quick. And I don't think that they have the manpower to do it.
And Broad is probably going to get sacked at some point. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he'll probably get sacked. I just don't know. Yeah, I mean, like I know I said like they're going down, it's done. That's more kind of tongue in cheek, but I just like I mean, they're still 3-1 to go down. And I wish I had actually, hopped on my horse and ridden it when I said on the season preview that I thought that they could go down. As hot of a take as I was at the time, here we are.
Yeah.
And I wish I had ridden that out, but it's just hard to see where they go from here. They have another match this weekend where they're pretty sizable underdogs, and um, I will probably bet them again because I'm an idiot. And so, yeah, I mean, I just don't know where they go. They didn't bring anyone in, so they're not going to work any new transfers in. They just are what they are. This group has to somehow pull it together and get to 40 points.
Yeah.
And given that Leeds, Forest even has a win, Bournemouth even has a win. Like some of these other sides have gotten legitimate wins and results, and like Leicester hasn't done that yet. So with all of that going on, like it's just hard to see them getting to like that 40-point threshold.
Well, yeah, and you've only got 33 matches left to do it now, so
Yeah.
they're
The
already behind
relegation
the 8
picture is
ball.
so muddy. Like, I mean, there's so
Yeah.
many teams, like, and like not to just totally segue, but like, Another team that could go down, that looks like they're going down, that acted in the transfer window like they were going down, was Aston Villa. Like, I mean, they acted like they were getting ready to go down. And I mean, it's hard to argue it. Like, Gerard's seat's probably getting a little warm there. And yeah, I just, there's so many teams, but then you have the traditional teams. Like, I mean, a multiple of Wolves, Leicester, Forest, Bournemouth, Everton, multiple of those teams are going to stay up, at least two.
Which is crazy to think because
Yeah.
they've all looked terribly. Like even Bournemouth, we talked about the fact that yes, they get the draw against Wolves, which they didn't deserve, and then other than that, they just have that opening win, and then they've been blown out on a couple of occasions as well. So I still have faith that they're going to be bottom of the table by the time the season's all said and done.
Yeah.
But as of now, they've got they've got a 3-point cushion on Leicester City, which is pretty crazy. So
Right.
not a lot of great results there for some of these teams. Now, when we're focusing on Matchday 6, because we got a lot of plays on Saturday and then the couple plays on Sunday. So let's start with the early game that we have on the slate for Saturday, that being the Merseyside Derby, Everton and Liverpool. Everton are plus 566 at home against Liverpool, who are minus 223. Now, Liverpool was fortunate to get the 3 points. They should have drawn that game. But nonetheless, they come away with the result, and Everton picked up a draw as well. Is there any plays here that you really like?
Yeah, I think I want to go under 2.5 at plus 135. I know that's kind of seems contrarian, but I mean, if you remember last year when this fixture was played at Goodison, it was incredibly physical. Everton employed the darkest of arts with time wasting and everything like that. We heard Jesse Marsh from Leeds complain about it because they did it against Leeds at Ellen Road this weekend. So they're 100% going to do that again. And last year, it really frustrated Liverpool because they packed it in. They were able to, find ways to prevent Liverpool from scoring. And I think Liverpool walked out with a 1-0 win, but the one didn't come until like the 75th minute. And even then, Everton was able to keep them off the board for another. So, and especially with Liverpool's attack, Liverpool's attack looks kind of feeble against Newcastle. And after the Great Cherry Massacre of 2022, like that's really the only time they've looked, just vicious and ferocious on the attack. So I don't mind going under here. I'm pretty sure Everton won't score, which kind of gives me a 2-0, 1-0 type feel to it. So I think that's where I would go. I'd go under 2.5 at plus 135. I think if you're going over 2.5, Liverpool has to win 3-0. And I'm not laying minus 165 in a derby that's as emotional and frustrating for these clubs as it is. Like I'm not going to go over 2.5, knowing that Everton probably can't score.
I'm going to give Everton the benefit of the doubt. The play that I was looking at was them plus 1.5 at minus 135. I think it's low scoring too. Like Liverpool, outside of the massacre of the Cherries, they have not looked great this year, and they haven't scored a lot of goals. So I'm hoping that Everton figures out a way, because it's a derby game, to get one, because I think if they get one, it's going to finish 2-1. If they don't, I could see this being 1-0 as well. So I do like them at the minus 135 at home. And I hate this Everton side. Like I just think that they're bad. I think
I
they're
like
going to
them
be in
more
the
than you
bottom
do.
half.
Like, I mean, when I saw the Leeds line, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go get Everton here. Like, I
think my issue is that I think they're fairly well rounded. They just, in the final third, they don't generate enough chances for me to get excited about them.
I just
like,
think if they
over the
can
long
hold
term.
on until DCL gets back, then he's going to have a bounce back enough year where they can stay up. And that's really,
and I'm not worried about them getting relegated. I think they're a bottom half team where I think they're going to be 11 to 15, anywhere in that range. Like that's kind of where I place Everton when the season's all
I still
said
think
and
it's a
done.
relegation battle for them right now. Like until they pick up, because I mean they haven't won a match yet. I'm pretty sure. I think they've drawn like 3. They've drawn 2 or 3 matches. So
Yeah,
like
they have.
Yeah, so they haven't won a match. So until they win a match, I'm kind of like, yeah, you're in a relegation battle because without getting 3 points places, like you're not.
You could draw every single game and you only get to 38. Like you're not.
Yeah, if you
safe
draw
unless
every
you pick up
match, then
3
you're
points.
probably going down. So
yeah. Brentford and Leeds. You got Brentford, they're plus 125 at home, taking on Leeds at plus 220. both teams to score is juiced at minus 167, but if I'm doing a 2-teamer, I like throwing that one in there just because I like the chances that both of these teams generate. Outside of that, I might take Leeds draw no bet at plus 133 to go and get a result. Like, I do think that this Leeds team, I love Rodrigo. I think he's having a great start to this campaign. I know that they're on the road, but that would be my early lean. If I'm not going draw no bet, then I maybe just go and get Leeds. Maybe get Leeds plus a half, which is minus 143, and just hope that they can get the draw or win. So what are your thoughts on it?
I'm actually going the other way.
You're going Brentford here.
I think
I mean,
so,
they are at home as well, so.
I just think Leeds, it was such an emotional battle to stay up last year, and this is really Jesse Marsh's full campaign. I just think it's going to be a tumultuous campaign. Like, they started really high, 7 points from 4 fixtures or 3 fixtures, and I just kind of think that they're going to be a team that we have to find a way to buy the dips and sell the highs. And I'm kind of just like, I think I'm going to be looking to bet against Leeds for the next few matches. Just maybe when they come back to Ellen Road next week, I'm not sure who they'll play, but I assume they're coming back home since they're at Brentford this week. But Brentford's really good. That's a hard place to win. Manchester United proved that. And so I kind of think that I'm going to back Brentford. It's just a total collective effort. I think that they can play through and find a couple of goals. Defensively, I think they're better than people actually give them credit for. So I'm probably going to go with. I think I'm going to go with Brentford and not even take I don't even think I'm going to draw no bet. Like, I think I'm just going to take them plus 120.
Okay. So we do differ there. That'll be one that we'll definitely be keeping an eye on early on Saturday. Kickoff's 9 your time, 8 my time. Chelsea, they're minus 176 versus West Ham at plus 475. And first of all, neither of the Chelsea signings are going to get there in time in order to play in this match. It's too quick of a turnaround, I think, in order to make that happen. So we're basically looking at the Chelsea side that just lost to Southampton. And what are your thoughts on the Chelsea play here?
I'm not betting the game because I can't. I don't want to bet Chelsea because they're shit, and I don't want to bet. I don't want to fade Chelsea. Just they're due to bounce back at some point here. Like, they just are. Like, and also I think West Ham is still shit. I just don't have a feeling. If anything, I'd go under. Like, West Ham really has only showed semblance of generating great chances against the corpse of Forest's defense and against Spurs in the second half. I think Chelsea is more formidable defensively than they showed against Southampton, and we know they can't score. So I've been betting Chelsea unders now for multiple weeks. They've gone over the last 2 matches, so trends would tell you they're due to go under here at some point. So I'm going to probably look at some unders again here. It's a derby too. It's a London derby. So, like, I'm probably going to look at, under 2.5 is plus 110. That's probably where I would go.
I might even play it safer and just go the under 3 at minus 145 in case we get a 2-1 result here. But I'm kind of in agreement. I can't get myself to bet West Ham. Like, I look at that double chance and I'm like, ooh, plus 135. And I'm like, I still can't convince myself that Chelsea's going to drop points to a West Ham side that hasn't been great to start the year, despite the fact that they probably had higher expectations than they're showing right now. But
they deserve to win this weekend, though, for what it's worth. They deserve to win against Spurs. Mm-hmm. I think there's people out there that don't think I can say bad things about Spurs. Spurs were shit this weekend, and West Ham deserved to win. With no shadow of a doubt did they deserve to find that winner. So, yeah, they've shown that they can create, and they've shown that they can play with these higher class teams. It's just I can't bet the game. Like, I have to bet the under if I bet anything.
Yeah. If anything, I would maybe lean both teams score at minus 124 only because of how bad Chelsea's backline has been at times this year. And so that would maybe be my other lean on that game. I'll put out the card tomorrow, though, a bit closer to. Newcastle's plus 112 against Crystal Palace at plus 266. Where are you leaning with your second squad here?
we're going to bet Palace. I just have to figure out how we're going to do it.
Okay.
So I'm thinking. What am I thinking? I think I'm going to go plus a half at minus 130 for the full unit, and then half a unit on the plus 275 to win the match.
I don't hate that at all.
Still come out profitable with the draw. If they
Yeah.
win, then we come out double profitable.
Yeah.
So we
I
come
kind of
out
like
big winners.
the plus a half as well at minus 125. I might roll with you on that one. I'm probably going to sprinkle the money line too because I'm still not sold on Castle. So
time to buy low a little bit here. And Castle's clearly not invincible. Like, well, they needed a miracle shot to beat Wolves. So
yeah. And there has to be something said for the fact that they deserved the point against Liverpool and to give up a 90 plus 8th, loser midweek, and then now you have to go home a couple days later and play this match. So I
also,
do think that it's a letdown spot.
That's a tricky, hard road trip for these London teams, going to St. James's Park and playing at Castle. That's really the only thing I think that I'm kind of worried about is the travel and like that environment. But I
do like that Palace has the extra day here as well.
Yeah,
That's one thing that I like. These
no,
midweek ones, it's what concerns me a lot, especially with United on the weekend, is that they played today and then they're going to turn around on Sunday against a team that's had 2 extra days. So they're going to be a bit more rested there. The battle of the promotion sides of Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth. First of all, I will not be watching this game. You cannot pay me to watch Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth. Part of me hopes though that it becomes a championship type game. The up and down, like just free flowing. You got Nottingham at home. They try and go and get all 3 points. I think both teams realize that these are the games that you can't afford to draw. You need to go and get 3 points. So I hope that it turns into that, which is why I think if I had to bet it, I would just go and bet both teams to score at minus 117, just hoping that it's up and down.
Do you think the Bournemouth players have ever been told what a counterattack is? Or do you think
they're just so used to sitting in their third?
They just sit in there. Do they just sit in there and hope that something bad will happen to the other team and they'll find a way to score? I bet Bournemouth.
They're hoping that a player falls down and then because of that, then they can go and counterattack.
I bet Bournemouth last weekend. No more. No more Bournemouth. No more.
But Bournemouth was profitable last week.
They were
profitable.
They were thoroughly outplayed. They were thoroughly dominated by Wolverhampton Wanderers. Absolutely not. No more Bournemouth. I even gave them the manager.
Are you betting Nottingham then?
Nottingham Forest plus 105. Just go ahead and send it. Be profitable. Make money. Go ahead and enjoy it. Be done with it. Fade Bournemouth and prosper.
Okay, I'm going to take both teams to score, but I still think Bournemouth loses the match in like a 2-1 or 3-1 fashion against Forest. So,
I will say this though: under 2.5 in that match is minus 135, which kind of made me raise my eyebrows.
Yeah,
I kind of was like, that's interesting.
Then we got Tottenham. They're minus 193 against Fulham. I don't know where to go with this match. The one thing that I keep betting with Spurs, and they've kind of come through for me, is the first half money line. And I don't love this Fulham side, so I'm kind of tempted at minus 105 on the first half money line. But I don't know. They are coming off of a draw. I'm hoping that they're at home. They're going to come back and get 3 points here. But what are your thoughts on it?
Just bet Fulham plus 1.5 and prosper. We'll go up 1-0 and then we'll sit on our thumbs like a hockey penalty kill and just hope we block enough shots to win. I'm pretty frustrated. I like Richarlison needs to start Saturday. I'm going to screech. I just can't. It's crazy. Spurs, and Spurs also have some midfield problems. Like they really needed a midfielder in the window, but they couldn't get Brian Hill out and then get a replacement in. They really need a midfielder. I thought Yves Bissouma was actually okay. I thought, the reason it was a draw was because Højbjerg wouldn't quit bitching to the ref, and he turned around and started complaining to the ref and then lost his man, and his man came in and scored a goal. Oopsies. But anyway, just point being, Spurs have not, outside of Southampton, which that's almost a throwaway result. They just haven't shown to me that they can go and just beat the brakes off people. That Forest match, like you could argue, like okay, well, like how many times is Harry Kane not going to finish a penalty? You could also argue how many times are they going to give up the quality of chances they gave up to Forest and keep a clean sheet. So they haven't shown to me that they can go beat people bad enough for me to be like willing to go there with them as a heavy favorite. Like I just have to. That's kind of where I'm at with Tottenham right now.
Okay,
God,
well,
and we play.
I'll have faith in your squad this weekend. I'm going to take the first half money line at -105. Let's get that early goal. You guys go up, and then you win 2-0, 3-0 fashion.
Yeah, I was looking through the odds kind of, and then I realized we play City next week, and I just kind of started scratching my head. I was like, fuck. I was like, that sucks. Yeah, City against the team who is projected to finish third in the Premier League is -290. That's absurd.
So then you've got Wolves. They are +125 against Southampton at +225. I'm fading this game overall because I hate both sides and I can't get myself to bet on either of them. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
I bet Southampton to be bottom at Christmas, and like I keep finding myself going back like, well, what about this is why they could go get a result in. Like I did that last week, and I think I bet them like, let's see, I think it was like, I guess it was +140 or something like that. So, and they got the result against Chelsea. They're in good form, to be honest. So I'm not gonna bet them. I'm gonna stay away. But if you made me lean, I would lean Southampton just because they found something. They're playing a little bit better. And I think Wolves are still trashed and they can't find a way to win games. So
we'll cap it off with the final one of the day. It's Aston Villa +700 at home against City, who are -278 on the road. I am kind of just in the mode right now of first half money line with this City squad because they score so much. It's only -130 on the first half money line as well. I mean, at a certain point, though, like City's going to stop scoring like 6 goals in a match. But on the road, I'm still going to take them just because of the odds. And it's the only way that I can bet City. You couldn't pay me enough money to bet Villa in any fashion. So what are your thoughts on it?
I think there's something to betting City just on the outright spread, too. Like, I kind of feel like this is the match that gets Gerrard sacked. Like, I feel like this could be the humiliation. I think it could be the humiliation in front of the home fans that gets him sacked because you've been bad and you come home and like nobody expects you to win, but they expect you to fight. And I feel like if City scores early, and I mean like really early, I mean like 15 minutes, I feel like they could just quit. And if they quit against this team, it could get to 4. And if it gets to 4, so 3 or 4, then I feel like they'll sack him. And so
honestly, go ahead.
I just don't feel like they've shown me anything to this point that they're willing to fight for anything. I mean, against Arsenal, once they scored the equalizer, like that would have been the perfect moment to basically rally everybody and be like, "Come on, like let's go get this result. Like let's get back on track. Let's get a result that we're not."
They didn't really generate anything down the stretch.
Not only did they not generate anything, but they immediately conceded the goal that gave Arsenal the lead back.
I do think I'm also going to go and bet Erling Haaland to score at -150 anytime because that feels like free money when you have 9 goals in 5 matches. And I'm not even normally like a soccer player prop guy, but like at -150, like I think he's legitimately going to break the single season record. I don't think that there's any doubt that he's going to do it.
I will say that and if you want to know what a filthy human being I am, there was a strong consideration for me from adding some sort of Bournemouth player to score a goal player prop on my card earlier in the week. Like there was I was scrolling through looking for something.
Did you get your goalie assist?
Nope. Couldn't find it. Okay. Good thing I didn't. Good thing I didn't. I wish I had.
I forgot that you had that play, so I was curious how it ended up playing out for you.
Well, I mean, I couldn't even find odds for one, and then for two, he didn't have an assist. So I basically just saved money. The sportsbook saved me money by not allowing me to bet something so foolish.
They're like, listen, sir, that's really stupid.
Like, listen, we have people with problems coming here, but this is a new one.
Goaltender assists in soccer. Then we got two plays on Sunday. We got Brighton and Leicester, and then we got United and Arsenal. So let's start with the Brighton one. It's minus 106. They're at home against Leicester at plus 300. I want to bet something on this game. I just don't know what it is. So give me your insight first before I give a play.
See, yeah, that's what I was debating in my head because part of me is like, I think this might be the point where Leicester gets a result. And I'm just kind of like, God, Walker, but you've done this now. Like, you took Leicester against Arsenal. You took Leicester against United. I'm pretty
taking
sure
Leicester double chance at minus 121. They are going to get a result out of this game. Will you ride with me on Leicester getting a result at minus 121?
Yeah, I think they get the result.
Okay. Minus 121. That's our OTBN lock of the.
I'm not putting a lock next to anything that the 20th place team in the league has to say.
A 20 unit. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no.
I do think they get a result there, though. Like Brighton, they had the good start, but Leicester has to get points at some point.
I told you before the show, I was like, dude, I lost money on Leicester again today, but I'm probably going to bet them again on Sunday.
And here you are. So let's cap it off. United and Arsenal. United plus 166. Arsenal plus 166. Draw plus 250. Where are you going with this one?
I think I'm going with United, despite all the reasons I shouldn't. Because, and when I say the reasons I shouldn't, I'm more just talking about rest. But I don't know. Like, I kind of buy the United resurgence. Like, they look emotionally invested in everything that they're doing right now. I actually have United listed at my book as a slight favorite at plus 155 with Arsenal at plus 170. I'm kind of buying in on like what's going on there. Like with Ronaldo and Maguire on the bench, they've been like applying a ton of pressure. They've been creating pretty decent chances. The defense has been worlds better. And we talked about this earlier, or you talked about it when you were talking about United as your winner. I mean, I watched the match today. I saw the emotion, like just from something as simple as preventing a cross and conceding a corner. Like the unity and the forward movement of this group and how they're kind of moving forward together as a collective. We haven't really seen United play as a collective in a long time. So I've really enjoyed the resurgence, to be honest. And so I also think Arsenal needs a humbling. I think we're getting to that point where I think they kind of need a humbling. And, Arsenal dropping points, even if they drop all the points against United, is not just like the end of the world. Like, I mean, if they go down 1-0 and they lose the match, like, oh well. The other thing too is like we haven't really seen Arsenal punched in the mouth, and I do want to see how they respond. I guess Fulham to an extent, but yeah, I want to see how they respond in a hostile environment on the road when they get punched in the mouth. And I mean, United's got the team that's top of the table. A clash between two historical giants. Like, I mean, both teams are gonna come with everything, but I just think at Old Trafford with that environment, the momentum that United has created, I just think they get a crucial 3 points, and then maybe we come back and bet against United the following week, whoever they play. Yeah. Please don't be Bournemouth. But I think we come back and maybe play. Yeah, I think we come back and potentially look at they play Palace. Great.
Good.
So I think we come back and maybe look at Palace next week because they go to it's at Selhurst as well. So I think we come back and maybe look at that. But I think this is a spot where United really plays up and goes with everything and gives everything and finds a way to come out with 3 points. And it's one that leaves United fans dreaming kind of what the Ten Hag era can be, even though I think some people are probably already to that point.
I'm going to go United first goal at minus 115. It was profitable today. I think they do get the first goal at home. Might even put a couple of units on that. And then I'm going to put the 1 unit on United money line because It's plus money. It's at Old Trafford. Yes, it's against a team that hasn't lost yet, but just these games, you always get up for them, even on like the shortened rest. Like, part of me is wondering if why they've been bringing on Ronaldo and Casemiro the last couple matches is if they're just going to start them on Sunday. Because I
I
do,
hope not.
I hope that they don't start McTominay. Um,
I hope they
I
don't
hope
start Ronaldo. Let me
I don't
rephrase.
want them to start Ronaldo either. To clarify, but I do think that they should start Casemiro in a game like this. I don't love McTominay in these big matches. I think that he's serviceable, but I do think Casemiro would bring a bit more on the back end, especially in like think of all the big matches that he's played in
That's
before.
what
I
I was
just
about to
think that you
say.
want
Like
that
that guy
guy.
just won the Champions League final last year. Like I don't feel like a clash between United and Arsenal is going to phase him.
Exactly, but it could be the case with other guys. I
Yeah.
don't expect to see Maguire. Don't expect to see Fred. I think if anything, if United is trailing or tied late, you'll see Ronaldo. But outside of that, I think Ten Hag's going to roll with what's been working, work it until it breaks, and we'll see what happens on
Honestly,
Sunday.
you know what I expect? I kind of expect them to roll the same lineup with maybe Casemiro for McTominay and push these guys. And if they have to sub a little early, then they do. And then they just rotate heavily for Europa League and give them a week off because I
Mm-hmm.
assume that starts next week. Um, but yeah, that's kind of where I would lean. Is thinking like they're gonna just try to push these guys and be like, hey guys, listen, we need 90 minutes. Like if it was Bournemouth, then maybe I'd rotate some guys and be like, we're gonna be fine. But like this is a massive match against the top of the table team, a team we're competing against with top four. At least that's what United should believe.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's the way I look at it is they can rotate heavily with a week off between prem matches and no cup ties, just a Europa League tie. And I don't know who United is grouped with. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't paid any attention to the Europa League, but like,
No, I know that Arsenal and United both play on that Thursday, so they'll have a few days off, and then it'll be a Sunday match with Palace for United, and then
yeah.
Everton for
So
Arsenal.
yeah, that's kind of my point, I guess. Is like I mean, yeah, like United's group isn't easy, but yeah, so United hosts Real Sociedad out of La Liga on Thursday next week, which is not an easy match by any stretch. But quite frankly, you can still rotate, and if you draw Sociedad for some reason, just go win the other ones.
Yeah, you shouldn't be concerned about Europa getting out of your group. We'll say that
Right.
much.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you just need to finish second, and whether you finish first or second basically doesn't matter because even if you have to go play a first place team out of another group, you're almost certainly more talented than them.
If you can't
So
get out of a group with Sociedad, Ammonia, Nicosia, and Sheriff Tiraspol, then I don't think that like we need to start talking about United finishing in the bottom half of the league.
right. Right. So like so you get the point. Like I think that's where they push their guys this weekend and then be like, listen, guys, we need this result because we don't want to be playing in a group like this again next year.
Exactly. Well, we're both in agreement on that. We're going to have a great Sunday of footy action and Saturday as well. College football on Saturday. We're going to do a live either Saturday morning or maybe tomorrow night. We'll see what happens from here as far as college football goes. But I'm getting slapped on the opening night of college football right now.
Your little Penn State Purdue over's got some life here. So
okay. Well, I'm going to speak that into existence.
It's 10-7 with Penn State going in. So
all I need is for that one to hit and we go 2-2 on the day, and I will take it after Oklahoma State and Central Michigan almost went over in the first half and I was on the under.
Yeah,
so
those are the worst types of days with college football, the day where you're having to craft your path to 500 to call it a good day. They're the worst. I feel it.
And unfortunately, that's happening on day one for me. So appreciate everyone who tuned into the live tonight. We'll be back. Probably we might even do a Monday night or a Tuesday night just to talk Champions League as well because there's a bunch of good matches there.
It to be Monday, I think we've got Tuesday matches. I think it's Tuesday and Wednesday. So
yeah, we'll be back Monday night to talk Champions League, and so appreciate everyone who tuned in.
And the EPL together. We'll just smash it all together and just do what we can.
A big old super show of footy action. So appreciate everyone tuning in, and we'll see you guys on